Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a Final Fantasy Randomizer community presentation on SpeedGaming 2. Tonight, the Fall League continues with this week's flag set, Free Enterprise. I'm RockSolid84, and joining me in the commentary booth tonight are Deadpulse and Professor Renderer.
Hello.
Hi. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. How about you, Deadpulse?
Oh, I'm thrilled for an exciting match coming up here.
Yeah, this one's going to be a doozy. Free Enterprise is lots of fun. It's very fast, a lot of things going on, force characters. There's so much to talk about. But Deadpulse, why don't we get started? Can you tell us a bit about these teams?
Oh my! So this is quite a stacked array of runners that we have. I'm going to run through them really quick in alphabetical order. So we have Ale Markin, who was, of course, on last year's team, who won this Cake and Break. We have Crab Cakes, the 2019 Spring Tournament winner. We have Fry Teeth, who has placed top 3 in every tournament this year. We have Gouda, a former Duckling Supreme. We have Hate the 13th, IB Karma, both putting up solid times. We have Jat, 2980, who's a runner-up in his Duckling class. We have Jay Scheidel, who we're going to be restreaming here. We've got Lord of the Synth, Luffy DV, who is the current, just won the tournament with Shumbabi, the tag team tournament. We have Papa Dukes, who is the current Duckling Supreme. We have Rich Baroque. We have, or Rich Bork, I'm sorry, I always pronounce that wrong. We've got Rubes 000, who is the champion of the Chaos Rampage tournament. And we have Wildham, who is the been our Ankleo champion 6 or 7 times in the last 2 months. So this match is stacked with champions.
Definitely so. This is going to be one heck of a matchup here. I should also point out something with the blessings and blessing with the blessings here. White Mage will not be wearing a bracelet, but to compensate for that, Fighter will have ninja spells and White Mage spells, and they're actually leading off right away with Life 2 on level 1.
And yeah, we have the Fighter with White Mage spells and Ninja spells, so the Fighter can instantly learn that.
Which is excellent, because that way there isn't no whole. I mean, that way we can just get rid of the White Mage, because with the ability to not have the inability to wear bracelets, it's going to be a detriment.
Yeah, it makes me cry, but I don't think this White Mage is long for the world.
Yeah, one benefit to keeping the White Mage up could be if you want to get levels, though, because with this flag set, we are dealing with a sort of a recruitment mode. You'll notice that they start with only 2 classes. We're going to be finding characters just sprinkled around the world, and it could be a Black Mage here in Cardia, it could be a Red Mage behind the Earth boss, you name it. That's going to be a big part of the strategy, is finding that second party member.
I have to point out the School of Parking by Ale Markin as he crashes into the forest.
Yes, because we do spawn with a free airship, similar to Free Enterprise, and we actually saw that Ale Markin and Jay Scheidel had immediately rushed the Cardia incentive to get a crown.
Yeah, some of our viewers might not be as familiar with exactly what Free Enterprise is and where it comes from. What's the story behind that?
Why are you looking at me? I have no idea.
So, as far as my understanding is concerned, this Free Enterprise flag set is emulating the stuff with related to Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise and Worlds Collide and that kind of stuff. It's bringing that into Final Fantasy 1 and with the Final Fantasy 1 options that we have for the randomizer.
Yeah, shoutouts to the Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise community if we've got any adherents here in the stream tonight.
Look at this synchronized swimming that we have going on the bottom of the screen between Hate the 13th and Ale Markin.
Yeah, simultaneously getting Oxy Ales as they're both making their way into Crescent Lake. Ooh, rods for sale.
Oh, and I saw a cake sword. I didn't catch that. That was the opening item.
could be useful for insta kills.
And another important thing with these flag sets is to pay attention to the hints. So hint givers are on. There's a hint giver in every single town location, and sometimes they can save you from painful dives by telling you, oh, I don't know, something useless is at the bottom of the marsh, or or the Oxyale is in Waterfall. Sometimes they can be useful too.
Oh, and from amongst the sages, the thief had joined in.
We see the shop item is in Crescent Lake. It is the rod, and it's for a mere 8,700 gold. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, that's a very cheap one. And level 6 magic actually has Invis 2 and Exit. And Temper Black Mage magic, level 6.
I'm going to give a quick pre-shout out to our trackers here. This tracking this flag set is a nightmare for the first 10 minutes because everybody usually goes every which direction and usually gets 5 to 12 key items just right off the bat. So it looks like everyone's stopping off at Provoca. Hate the 13th, gonna go back, check some chests over in Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, this may be a holdover from practicing other flag sets. You do see him finding the ship in a loose box there, but that's a bit of a false flag because, in fact, the ship is, well, it's a dud item, really. We've already got the airship and we've got the canoe, so we're not going to be finding any important loose items in this flag set.
But delicious XP follows that ship.
And Ailmarkin heading to the bottom of a marsh cave, just diving that and also one thing you're going to notice with this flag set, there is no encounters either in the overworld or in dungeons. This is again another holdover from the Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise, where you have an option to turn off encounters. And because we can't really turn off encounters in Final Fantasy 1, we just said it's like, okay, we're just gonna have it all off for the rest of the game, and we're gonna have to do it. And the counter to that is we can find monsters in boxes.
Yeah, you will note them also finding encounters and trap tiles as well. It might look like a random encounter if you're not familiar with the game, but there are some tiles that will force you into a fight every time you step onto them, and we call those trap tiles. Those are still active in this flag set.
I just have give a quick notice to both Ailmarkins and Rubes and Ailmarkin. Both of them had the crown. They went to take on Astos. They saw that Astos had a useless item. It was a heel shirt, I believe, and they instantly reset out of it. I love that move.
And we get a ribbon and Excal from the King and Sarah, respectively. And Key on TNT, which is pretty convenient because we can get the armory here.
Not only that, but Ailmarkin fished out the TNT from Marsh Cave, which turned into the key. Now, not a lot of people are going to dive Marsh Cave without the key because another incentive is in that locked location. So if a lot of these runners don't, that is a huge boon to Ailmarkin.
Yeah, Ale saw a hint earlier about Marsh Bottom, so they may have sort of worked it out that might have done some big brain play there. But I want to just shout out something else here. The fighter has both Cure 4 and Fast, if I'm not mistaken. That level's a 4 for Fast, and the Cure 4 was at level 3. So that's a really, really strong fighter.
Oh yeah, we're not going to be really worried about having other mages give Fast the fighter, because we can just cast it on our fighter ourselves.
Well, not only that, but we've got an Excal +1. Is that an endgame sword?
I would say yes, honestly, until Masa shows up, of course. But it's good to have in case we don't see any runners pick up the Masa.
The Excal is a great weapon, especially against the 4 fiends.
I can hear the asterisks in your voice, Dead Pulse. Under normal circumstances, I think I'd say Excal +1 is not in game. However, in this case, the scaling is pretty low. I think it's 1 to 200 max, so it might even work for Chaos.
It's difficult on Chaos, specifically because Chaos doesn't have a type or a weakness, so the Excal isn't going to get that bonus damage. So I would feel perfectly comfortable taking the Excal up to Chaos, but once I get there, I'm going to need some Sabers or some Tempers. Otherwise, I'm going to be swinging for 100 turns and still not kill him.
And from Aelmarkin's side, Otoya gave out a katana. He rolled neutral. So that would be nice to have once Aelmarkin makes his way back over to Crescent Lake to get that thief again.
Jay L picking up Paper Sorcerers on a Trap Tile. This might be good for that Ice 3 wielding fighter.
Yeah, I see we got up to level 12. I think, that wasn't a Trap Tile, that was actually just a monster in a box.
Too bad, but this is a good fight too, so there's 2 solid fights.
You see, they look like Agamas, but they're actually iguanas.
So Aelmarkin goes ahead and buys the Broad from Crescent Lake. I'm gonna stop back in to get that thief, looks like.
Yeah, it's not a bad option. A lot of times, I know that a lot of these runners have gotten some very good times on this with black belts. Now, I know last Tuesday, just 2 days ago, we didn't see any black belts in there. So I think these runners are kind of hoping they're going to find one pretty quick.
Wow, but that switch from the fighter to the thief, I mean, aren't you worried? That fighter was your best mage that you had.
Yeah, I'm curious as to that decision in particular. It's because you have it's because for one thing that white mage won't be able to wield any bracelets. So getting rid of your fighter feels a little strange to me.
Maybe what Aelmarkin's thinking is, let's ride the white mage for now, and then switch it to a black mage if you find one, or a red mage along the way, to pick up fast later, because you don't need it until end game.
I don't think we've seen Warp yet, so maybe holding out for Exit, not a bad strategy.
So actually, I'm thinking about this now. Speaking of things that monsters in boxes from earlier, I did mention before that unless they want to get the Masa, they could do that if they want to keep running the fighter. But there is a thing where you have to fight Warmech in order to get that Masa, which, given Warmech, it'll take a while. And if Warmech has some really bad spells in his spellbook, and it will hurt.
Yeah, it's the definition of high risk, high reward for that.
Does Warmech have a type weakness? Will Excal work well on that?
I believe the answer is no. But I've been wrong a lot, and probably have been wrong before, so... Warmech is regenerative class, as I'm being told, so technically the Excal does do bonus damage against that. It doesn't feel like it sometimes.
It feels like you're not doing a lot of damage, but in reality, that Excal actually becomes important, I guess. That's something that I learned just today. Like, right now.
Oh, this is delicious. The first spike tile in Hall of Giants is a solo whiz vamp, and they don't like cake.
So that is going to be that's going to be our trap tile from the looks of things.
Not
Yeah,
only
once that ninja gets up to, level 18, 19, get another hit, it might take it out in 2 turns, go down to a solo grind.
Sure, but what Amark is doing here is he's committing to that ninja as his main damage dealer, and that he could run into problems if HP is low on that ninja.
Now, there's still a possibility that a fighter could show up on Fiends or on another NPC. So, if the fighter does reappear, that's fine and all. But because Ailmekin already promoted, that means he's going to be, I think, as far as I'm aware, he will be left without a 1 promoted class or 2.
Oh no, they have stun touch.
Ooh.
Oh, that's terrifying. You hate to see that after a couple of fights. So now all we need is Zenobian in here giving us stun touch facts, and we'll be a complete race.
I wish I had that during co-op.
So I don't think we've seen yet the other item at the bottom of Marsh. So Jay Shadell's going for it. Hate the 13th is already there. And we find the herb. Delicious.
Man, I'm not in the mood for some tea.
Yeah, that Wiz Vampire tile, that is delicious, but it is scary. Like, as soon as Ailmar can get this off the ground, it's going to be zoom with it. But it's just, this Wiz Vamp is not cooperating.
Oh, if you already promoted, if you pick up another one, it already becomes promoted, I'm guessing?
Yeah, it acts as if it has been promoted the entire time.
Oh, okay. That is something I was interested because I thought I wouldn't because during Tuesday's race I was kind of hesitant to promote. I wanted to make sure I had my guys up before I promoted. That would have been helpful. Also, there was Vorpal picked up by Rubes, but it rolled -5, so we're not going to use that.
I don't know how the Vorpal could become more useless.
I mean, I kind of flip-flop between using Vorpal and not using Vorpal. It depends on the situation for me.
I'm just trying to rattle up the Twitterverse out there. Or, whatever you kids call communities on the internet.
Yeah, you want a fishbowl for that bait, Dead Pulse?
You see, what should have happened is, we don't know this. The committee could have made secret rules, where if you find a Vorpal and throw it into the volcano, you get a point for your team. We just don't know. I think we do know that's not actually a thing. But if it were, that'd be really awesome.
I'd agree, honestly.
Yeah,
Anyway,
go ahead.
You go.
I was just going to point out, Chad is getting on to the struggles Ale's having and calling for a bridge grind. I was wondering about those 2 peds up there at the top of Earth. I think those would get you to level 21, and from there the katana might be taking out the Wiz Vamp. But Ailmarkin has been doing this for longer than me and is deciding to go looking for a better one somewhere else. That might be the heads-up play.
Yeah, we need to get to a certain level so that we can avoid that stun touch, and then that's the kind of grind you want to take when you have a level 25 or higher black belt, or you have level 28 thief with a katana, for example.
Rubes is going to go ahead and turn in that tail.
Yeah, the peds are... Go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead, Dead Bells.
I don't have anything important to say, actually.
Well, I was just going to say that Rubes has stuck with the fighter white mage that we came into the seed with, and is now about to start doing this whiz vamp grind. So are we going to see things go a little differently for Rubes? Well, we're about to find out.
Rubes does have that X-Cal on available. It's going to go ahead and actually take advantage of that right away.
I don't mind keeping the white mage around just because Cure 4. I know the fighter can learn it, but it is so nice to have a Cure 4 caster in battle if things go wrong.
Yeah, and I definitely agree, because Cure 4 is the ultimate cure.
Life 2 is the ultimate cure. Rubes just used it.
Well, that's true, yeah. Combined with the Life 2, this fighter will not die unless that white mage also dies. But even then, because I think Rubes also had picked up the Life 2 for the fighter.
Life 2 for everyone. We're just giving it away here.
So as long as he doesn't wipe, then he's fine.
As long as he doesn't get stun touched.
That's the thing. Yeah, if he doesn't get stun touched, then they're fine. These two party members are not going to die at all.
But I think we just hit the barrier because I think at level 14 was when we got our third hit with the X-Cal.
Meanwhile, Jay Scheidel going with the solo grind, Frost Giants, and Volcano Armory.
You know, that's not a bad grind. Jay Scheidel already up to level 22. I mean, those Frost Giants have Sklo. That is scary, but I think we do have the ribbon from the King. Meanwhile, Hate the 13th found the best enemy in the game, and that would be Saria's. Or should I say Saria, singular, is what we're fighting now. For Metagloria, Bicky had the tail. The good/bad pirate. I thought he had a redemption arc, or if I'm not mistaken.
Hate the 13th, picking up that 4 minus 5, probably just gonna say no. This is not gonna happen. I'm not gonna use that anytime soon. But it also wipes.
Saracen's comment in chat, do they have any spell skills that would make you sorry you fought them? I am swinging back and forth between giggling like a schoolgirl and blind with rage that I did not think of this pun.
Okay, that is I'll say this, that is a really good one.
10 points to Gryffindor or whatever. Alright, what's going on here? We have Rubes still doing the Whiz Vamp thing. We have Jay Scheidel over in Volcano doing the Frost Giants and some sort of undead creature. Looks like we have Hate the 13th taking on some Sphinx. What's the plural for Sphinx?
Sphinxes.
The more you know.
I mean, it's not boxing. Bought $2 at donuts.
I'll take 2 Sphinxes of donuts, please.
I wonder if they have some kind of name for multiple Sphinxes together. Like, you know, a murder of crows, a clouder of Sphinx.
That's I do really want to know that now. Somebody in chat, tell me what the answer is.
A Pharaoh Sphinx.
Oh, a riddle of Sphinxes. Oh, that's real good.
That, I mean, Riddle of Sphinx is good, but also I think Pharaoh Sphinx wouldn't be too bad either.
Both of those sound like they are legitimate answers, so I'm just going to assume one of them is right.
I mean, I've seen crazier plural groups before, like Haunting of Enderman.
And as we're jibber jabbering, we see Hay the 13th making a dive for Carrie. At the same time, Ale Markin making a dive for Lich. And of course, they aren't going to be Carrie and Lich. They're going to be super secret random bosses.
Yes, because we're playing Free Enterprise, sticking with the theme, we're going to be seeing bosses mostly from Final Fantasy IV, but I think there's a few other ones mixed in there, like Gilgamesh, for example. So we're about to see Lich is actually Salamand. What's that going to be from? Is that an Esper from Final Fantasy VI?
The short answer is probably.
But also one thing I took note of, there's another fighter available for Ale Markin.
Yeah, so Ale Markin could revisit the decision to switch over to the Thief. Be interesting to see if he switches the White Mage out for the fighter and uses it as a kind of bargain White Mage. But no, Ale Markin likes what he's got, and moving on with that orb lit up.
Just after the 24-minute mark, we have our first orb on screen. He got the ruby out of behind the vampire. So we're about to see what that turns into. Maybe something useful. Well, the Zap Gauntlet, that's useful-ish. You know who doesn't like Zamp? That Whizvamp.
It looks like Zero Cool mentioned it was from Final Fantasy III, the Salamand.
Ale Markin is a national treasure and a trendsetter. So if he doesn't like fighters, I am never running a fighter again. It looks like Jay Shadell done with his grind. I think he got up to level 32. And not to be outdone, Rubes, 1 minute later, is going for the Lich kill, or the Salamand kill.
Or as I like to call it, the Lich proxy.
Was it 5 hits for 28 damage? That's not nice.
So Hate the 13th is doing some exotic box checking deep in Volcano. Off to the left, I wonder if it's gear that he's looking for, because he is rocking a fighter, maybe wants a better sword, looking for a loose Mazmi and something like that.
Well, whatever's happening this Tyro, that was a terrifying fight. Managed to get a boatload of experience and the Dragon Armor -3 out of there, but at what cost?
Ooh, that's a huge pickup for a promoted fighter, though.
I will say this too, Blinky missed it, Rubes lit up the Earth Orb, but also picked up a Zap Bonk.
This is where it's going to be picking up. We know that there was a slow 2 shirt, or maybe it was just a slow shirt behind the little chest on the carry floor. And I think I saw we have another fighter behind carry.
That was another fighter, and we've got Cagnasso, who I know is from Final Fantasy VI. One of the translations, it's the beetle that builds up water and then lets it go at you.
All I know is I could have taken 4 fighters this scene and no one could have stopped me.
And chat is all over me on this one. That was Final Fantasy IV, not Final Fantasy VI with Cagnasso. Thank you, chat.
This is the game that has free enterprise. This is where that's the flag set comes from.
Rock Solid, you brought shame to your family.
I know. How can I live with myself now? I just don't know how I'm going to do it.
Man.
Is Jay Shidell going with the 2-fighter setup?
Oh, please do.
I mean, we've got Xcal and Vorpal -5. Sure.
Well, you'll have a mass immune if you fight the Warmech in the shortened Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, and I think it's one thing to consider too. If Jay Shadow goes for the double fighter setup, he does have the opportunity to fight a Warmech get a Masa. So
Ale Markin lighting his second orb. And Hate 13th deciding, nope, we're going to take these Gurpedes because they're delicious, but we're going to just have 37 health, still manage to... Oh my goodness. Hate the 13th. Oh my goodness. Please heal yourself. Oh, my poor heart can't take it. Yes, I believe the Masswing is excluded from Blurses, so you're never going to find it at, plus or minus. It's always going to be its vanilla goodness.
As all things...
Well, not its vanilla goodness. I mean, the crit rate was fixed from vanilla, but you know what I mean.
I mean, it's perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
I didn't know we could do that. Override blurses for individual weapons.
Just the Masswing, I believe.
Yeah, just Masswing.
There's a little checkbox in the blurses, exclude Masswing.
I tell you, these devs, they're changing the flags faster than I can keep up.
That's exactly how I'm feeling. Like, legitimately, that's exactly how I feel. With things like Deep Dungeon and Spell Book and the new Randomizer and all that stuff, it's hard to take in.
But we are just about approaching the 30-minute mark, so let's kind of look around. So nobody found the loot yet. We still don't have the chime or the cube, so we're missing 3 items still for go mode, and not a lot of places left to check.
Yeah, this is turning out to be quite the seed. Free Enterprise, normally pretty quick in terms of, sub-hour is usually a thing. But at this stage in the game, there's still a fair bit of game left to play.
Phoenix FF29, you're after my heart. All roads do lead to ordeals.
Ordeals isn't a bad decision, I would say. I mean, because
it's the best decision.
Yeah, it's not terrible. We're obviously gonna get an item here because everything is. All the incentives are vanilla.
Yeah, Ordeal's not as big of a deal as it can be in other flag sets. We do have encounters turned off, so it's just a matter of figuring out the teleporter maze, and there's a couple of trap tiles in there, which actually is nice if you're still looking for levels.
But yeah, it looks like a lot of our on-screen runners have just decided, you know what? We found decent enough tiles, we were just going to take those. I know Jay Scheidel is already level 32 plus on his fighter. Hate the 13th, I believe, was at least level 28. I didn't catch Rube's levels, but 21 and something. And I think Ale Markin's around the mid-20s.
Yeah. But I'm gonna still shout out that double fire setup from Chase Scheidel. That this is with the blessings that we have, with the bonuses that we have on the fighter. This is like this is the way to go. Double fire setup, on the other hand, would have been pretty cool. At least in my opinion, would have been interesting just to see.
So Ale Markin just found the chime at the bottom of Ordeals. Or, I'm sorry, at the bottom of Sea Shrine. I'm sorry, I have Ordeals on the mind, friends and enemies. Rube's following up, finding the chime as well. Only one more item and we can go into Sky Palace.
Yeah, one thing to watch out for when we do get to Sky, there is an a required war mech in this particular flag set. Our on-stream runners here, they've got pretty strong parties, they've got good weapons, they've got fast. Not as big of a gatekeeper as it can be in some other seeds where you're still looking for a party member and you can't go anywhere but Sky.
Get to go to Sky, you mean?
I see your team Sky, Sky, Sky.
How could I not be?
I mean, Sky is definitely the play. I mean, once that queue comes into play, I would definitely be going to Sky by then, because you have a lot of chests to open up. You have the stuff in Mirage Tower. You have less than greater than. You have pretty much everything over in the Sky Palace itself. I mean, I would not be opposed to going to Sky once the cube shows up.
We're probably going to have dual Kraken fighting. Isn't that a third fighter? A third fighter behind the Fiends. Can we go 4 for 4? All signs point to yes.
A triple... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think we're going to have to call this the Sword Chuck Steed.
This Shiva not playing around, just punching to bejesus and back.
Yeah, knock down the white mage, but shouldn't be a problem because with that white mage spells from that fighter, it's able to knock down Shiva.
Yeah, one thing.
Rubes, third orb lit, 34 minutes and 1 second.
Yeah, Rubes is definitely on a tear here. One thing to keep in mind with these alternate bosses, although they do look different and they do have different skills, there are some things that remain constant. And, well, Kraken Spot still hits like Kraken. So that's something to be watching out for once we see the refight as well. That's often the tough one.
And there was a white mage that was just chilling where the fairy's at, but since we know the fairy, that white mage can't put on the bracelet, we're not gonna put it up. We're not gonna pick it up.
But we found the cube. The fairy was hiding the cube. So Jay Shadell, the only runner on stream to have that right now. We do Rubes and Ailmark both have the bottle. We're about to see what the slab turns into, I believe. Which is an Opal -5 bracelet.
Would you still pick it? Would you still put it on even though it's at -5?
Well, not on that white mage, I'll tell you what.
Well, obviously, because we can't put places on the white mage, which we left back down in Gaia.
What I would do is bend that Opal -5 bracelet into some sort of weapon, and I would use that over a Vorpal.
I mean, they both have like a bluish color to it.
Yeah, chat's calling out that the gold bracelet is better. I don't know the base values. I think the base defense on the gold bracelet is going to be, what is it, 32, and then Opal is 40?
I thought 24 came to mind for some reason. I can't prove that it's right, but I think it sounds right.
So anyways, the way the pluses and minus works, when it's your chest armor, which the Opal bracelet confusingly counts as chest armor, go figure that one out. Each point of plus or minus is going to add or subtract 2 points to your absorb. So yeah, that -5, you're losing 10 points of absorb. That's quite a lot. +3 is going to add 6.
It's 24 base.
The gold bracelet?
Yes, the gold bracelet.
So the Opal is probably 30 then.
That sounds accurate. Ale Markin, though, finding the whistle/loot at the top of Mirage, now fighting the Warmech, which means Jay Shadell, who went to Ordeals, is going to find a Womp Womp.
So, to say, add on to that Opal bracelet, it's actually 34, so it's 4 off.
Okay, so let's work this out. The Opal 34 minus 10 would be 24, and the gold at 24 base plus 3 would be plus 6, would be 30. So yeah, as Chat's saying, the gold plus 3 would be better than the Opal -5.
Oh yeah. So at this point, Ailmark is in go.
This Warmech being a little on the nice side, casting some Ice 3 or Ice 2s. Oh no! Immediately bracks the thief.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a reset there. from Ailmarkin.
Oh, I apologize for saying Warmech was being easy, Ailmarkin. He's gonna yell at me.
That is what we call a commentator's curse.
Yeah, chat pointing out that Cure 4 doesn't cure stone. One little known fact about Cure 4, or at least I think it's little known, is that it does cure most status ailments in this game. But stone's a little bit of a different beast. It can't be cured. Even a soft, you can't. You can use it in battle, I think, but it won't do anything. So they're going to be a statue until you get out into the menu screen.
Just like the Vorpal. I thought that was pretty good. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to say also there is even a soft spell. And it was one of the things about playing the original game that is very frustrating. You get something that you think is going to be useful, and then you try to use it in battle, and it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? So many spells just didn't work. Of course, with the randomizer, most of those weird things have been addressed.
Jay Shadell, scene from the blacksmith dwarf. It was only just another white mage, so we're going to leave that again. So at this point, we don't have, as far as I'm seeing it, we don't have a black mage. At least from what we know, because we haven't seen what was past Warmech.
Well, that Warmech is not fooling around, let me tell you what. Oh, Ailmarkin gets turn order and takes out Warmech. And we're leaving. We're done with this place, we're saving. That is not a bad plan.
Yep, that's exactly what I did after I killed Warmech on Tuesday.
And Rube's using some ruse casts to make his fighter a little bit more survivable. That white mage gets punched to the Jesus and back, but we're at max evade on Biff, so I think we're feeling fine.
That Saber makes me a little concerned. If that Cure 4 too.
But hate the 13th lighting his second orb. But Rube's getting that delicious experience up to level 43, and we have a black mage behind Tiamat, the second seed in a row with no black belt. That is unreal. There's like a 10% chance that these seeds have no black belt in them, and we've had 2 back-to-back for week 1.
Yeah, that's interesting because that black belt, while unwieldy for start as someone who's starting out, can prove to be a major damage dealer once you get him up to the higher levels. And to have a black belt not show up throughout this for the second time in a row with this particular flag set is insane.
Rube's taking a little bit of a lead here, lighting his 4th orb. 41 minutes, 40 seconds. That is blazingly fast.
And Rubes is going to stick to the double team. It's going to stick with the double team. He's not going to pick up that black mage.
He's still on fighter white mage, right?
Yes.
You know what? We're picking up a little ruse, little wall. We're feeling good. Jay Shadell about to get the bad news that a 3rd fighter is behind a Fiend. And Rubes, our first runner on stream to enter Temple of Fiends at 42 minutes and 25 seconds. Oh, and we're not even dealing with the Masamune. We're just going. It is go time.
Oh, that nuclear to start off. Ooh. So,
just slaughters it.
So I want to get your thoughts on this. Do you think just leaving the Masa is the play to make with Rube's party? Because I think it does.
It does make a lot of sense. You have the Excalibur, and then it gets cracked. Oh no, has to restart. No, I don't feel like the Mass Mutant is the play here because you're killing Warmech for the experience, but his fighter's already level 42. You've got a decent enough weapon to get yourself to Chaos, and you have Ruse, so it's just a war of attrition.
Rock solid.
Yes.
What's your take on this?
Sorry, I was checking something out. What was the question?
Is skipping the Masa good? Because considering that our fighter is at level 44, and we already have an Excal on hand.
Well, I honestly don't like that Excal very much. I think, given the fact that we are going to have to get past Chaos, although that was the question: have we seen Temper?
We have.
In what level is it at?
I think it was level 6.
So that means that we can't cast it unless we pick up a Black Mage, which I don't think anyone has. I don't want to go up against Chaos with an Excal +1 and no Temper. So for me, that means Masa yes.
But as Cyrenus pointed out in chat, Saber is at level 3.
Yes, but you have to use your fighter to cast the Saber. So that means you would... Okay, so then have we seen Ruse? The White Mage is casting it. Can the fighter probably can too. So you could Ruse up 3 turns with your fighter, then switch to Sabers, and then use Excal +1. That is technically viable. But how much time are you going to spend trying to set that up? I still feel like I might want to go for the Mazamian.
It's interesting because this is what Rube's party we're dealing with. Because Rube's party is what we have a White Mage out in front, and we have the fighter down in the bottom. But Jay Seidel is running double fighter. That to me, I think for Jay Seidel's case, I think picking up the Black Mage here would be advantageous, considering you'll have access to Temper on hand.
Yeah, switching out the White Mage for a Black Mage gives you Temper, gives you Fast on the second caster, and your fighter can still life it up if it dies on the way. So that's a little bit better. But Roots is going for it right now.
Pulling Chaos just after the 46-minute mark. Ale Markin decided, nope, we need some levels. We're going back for these Whiz Vamps. Let's see if Rubes can pull this off. We have so many casts of Rubes.
Yeah, and that's just showing the power that was that blessing that we got with the ninja and White Mage spells on that fighter. This is definitely the fighter seed.
Well, they were everywhere. It was raining fighters here.
So much so that Jay Shell traded off a White Mage to bring up another fighter available.
Oh no, and the White Mage goes down for Rubes. And that Excal only hitting for 73 damage.
Yeah, Rube's going with Lock. That was something we didn't talk about. Lock is often called the poor man's temper. I don't know if it's going to get your base damage up high enough, but there's 355. Yes, showing a saber of his own.
With the Cure 4 on hand, as long as Chaos doesn't throw off any bad spells that would have just caused more damage to that fighter, I think Rubes is going to take this.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to how much HP Chaos has. Chaos has Frost and 2 Nuclears, it looks like. So though it can do damage.
We're chipping away here. 343. Nuclear comes out for probably the 15th time. 12 hits, 83. We've still got a bunch of Cure forecasts, so we're ready. While this has been happening, Jay Scheidel and Hate the 13th both have their 4 orbs lit.
And Jay Scheidel actually still committing to that double fighter setup.
And Rubes gets it. Rubes finished first on stream at 48 minutes and 19 seconds. Let's get some GGs out in chat.
Yeah, Rubes showing some real skill in terms of just going up against Chaos with what I thought was a pretty questionable setup, but gets it done.
Drafting party members, who needs that?
Yeah, I think this was just evidence to the fact that that XCal was our endgame weapon of choice. The fact that it rolled +3 on that XCal was evident enough that you probably just didn't care about that Masa, even if you were just going to get the experience from the Warmech. It's going to really help hit Rubes gain a lot of points with this for the team.
But the updates. So off stream, our first place finisher is Fryteeth, finishing at a time of 42 minutes and 27 seconds. Currently holding the record for the 2 days for the fastest time, and gets 10 points for his team. Crab Cakes finished second at a time of 44 minutes and 28 seconds, and she has bin 2 all to herself. And Rube starts off bin 3 at 48.19. Just after that, we had Wild Ham at 48.57. And we have Papa Dukes finishing at 49.29, as well as Luffy DV finishing at 49.42. So we have 4 runners right there, all clumped up in the third basket.
Yeah, and that's going to be a lot of points being dished out in that third bin.
All right, who's there?
It looks like it's Rubes.
Rubes, GG's.
GG.
Is it XCal forever? Is that what we're going with?
Well, I came in with the plan to kill Chaos, and I went to the Shrine of Chaos, and I killed Chaos. Because, Chaos.
Spoken like a true champion.
Yeah, once I had the XCal, I just figured once I had it, I was just going to roll with it, even though I knew the crit rate wasn't going to be spectacular.
We talked a fair bit about your setup coming into that, Rubes. Did you consider going for the Maza in the guaranteed Mazmian chest?
No. No. I just wanted to get through. I didn't want to waste time with another Warmech.
Yeah, that Warmech wasn't messing around. Had Brack, Cure 4, and ended up providing trouble for some of our runners. I didn't see your trip through Sky, but we did see Ale Markin get bounced at least once by that Warmech.
Yeah, I mean, Warmech killed my White Wizard. With my Ribbon and Ruse, I didn't really have too much trouble with Warmech. I just had to, grind it out.
Well, you did it. 48 minutes, 19 seconds. A very impressive time for this, especially without a black belt. So what were you thinking when you settled on the grind tile that you chose?
Well, I wish they weren't so dodgy. And, they're kind of hitting hard. The Whiz Vamps were kind of hitting hard, considering I didn't have a whole lot of great armor at the time because I couldn't afford the gold Cheerio. But, I knew they were going to give decent experience, and basically I just wanted to look for the first grind tile that had decent experience and wasn't terribly dangerous.
So with your finish, you will gain 7 points off of the third bin. How does that affect? How do you feel about that, and what do you think well, how would it? Try again. How would it? How did you feel, and how do you think it will affect the team that you're in?
Well, I mean, it's definitely a good finish. I mean, I was frankly, when I saw I finished third, I was a little surprised. So, I mean, I would have loved to have been second bin. I wasn't expecting to get first bin, but you know, it happened, and I'm very happy with my finish.
Well, you should be. This is a stacked group, and although you were a champion among champions, it's still terrifying to have to race against these legends.
A legend in my own mind, so that's good enough for me.
But we have Jay Scheidel fighting Chaos right now. We have Hate the 13th just entering Temple of Fiends, and we have Ale Markin back on the Gilgamesh. We have some dual fighter strategies going up top, but one of the fighters just gets punched in the face. I don't mean to laugh, it's not funny, but it was a little funny.
Yeah, I was watching the commentary back, I was like, oh, I totally just missed on Saber. Oh well, it's fine. I probably would have sped up things a little bit, but it's fine.
Jay Scheidel, 137 health. Quad X doesn't go off because the ribbon swings again. Still doesn't get it. We get turn order, and Chaos is defeated. GG's in chat for Jay Scheidel. Just as Ale Markin is pulling Chaos. So quick rundown. Jay Scheidel finishes 10th at 54-23. Since our last conversation about this, Gouda finished at 51 minutes, 28 seconds, rounding out the third bin. Starting the fourth bin, Jat, 29.80 at 53.28. Followed by IB Karma at 53.36. So Jay Scheidel firmly in the 1, 2, 3, 4th basket.
Yeah, Aelmar can do a big damage with this katana. That's Ninja Strats, wow. Really trivializing that fight with Chaos and finishes it off a lot faster than the other fights we've seen on stream so far.
Yeah, Ale Markin came back with a vengeance. GG's in chat for Ale Markin, finishing 55.01 and firmly in that 4th basket. But I believe we are joined in the comms booth by Jay Scheidel. GG's.
Hey.
GG.
Oh, you ran a heck of a race. You found your grind tile in Volcano relatively early. You stuck with it, and you were higher level than a lot of people, and you were in a good position. You just kind of didn't luck out with that Ordeals play.
Yeah, all the incentives just didn't line up my way. I forgot I had Oxyale. I completely forgot that one, so that was my downfall.
Well, still, GG's all around. You figured out somewhere in there that you did have the Oxyale, and you went through and you came back to finish. I mean, there's just this huge block of racers that all finished within 6 minutes of each other.
Ridiculous. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it goes to show how stacked this field is. It is, without a doubt, it is a killer lineup.
As everyone in the booth is like, "Oh, we're glad we're not on Thursdays."
I'm glad I'm moving to Tuesday next week.
At least with me being on Tuesday, I can take most of the brunt of the damage, with me having to lead off the weeks, and then let my team just kind of clean up house.
I'm fine to let Danny take this for the next couple weeks. Sorry, Danny.
Oh my, Hate the 13th taking out Gilgamesh, going to start his Chaos fight. Goodness, what did you think about that Chaos fight? That was what, 25 nuclears coming around?
It definitely seemed like it.
All over. I was holding my breath with 100 HP left.
Yeah. Like, this seed just rained nuclears and fighters.
The fighters had everything, so take them.
But but oh my, Hate pulling Chaos, 57 minutes, 49 seconds. We're starting this ruse out right. Chaos sold the ice 2s, so we're feeling fine. Let's do this 3 more times, see what happens. And I heard before that Ailmarkin was not going to be joining us. He had to, he said before that he wasn't going to be able to join us for an interview, but still GG's to him.
Still put in an impressive performance all the way through.
Fast and sabers are rolling out. You thought it was only raining nuclears and fighters. It's raining sabers and cure 4s and ruses.
Yeah, just getting that damage, getting more and more damage on those weapons, and this is like the evidence that the double fighter was the key with this one. Who needs a black mage? Who needs nuke? Who needs fast? Or who needs temper? You have saber on hand. You can spend turns on chaos and then just go like all on the offensive, and that is the case with Hate the 13th. GG's to him.
Hayes 13th finishing 59 minutes and 10 seconds. That is still in the 4th busket, I believe. GG's to you, Hate.
Who needs nuclears when you have, fast, saber, and stab?
Exactly.
Hey, was that a silver knife that we saw in the hands of your second fighter?
No, that was a cat claw +2.
Ah.
I figured I would
From
roll
the
with that.
delicious waterfall.
Yeah, I picked that up and I was like, you know what? I'm going to roll with this because the Vorpal rolled absolute utter trash at -5, and I didn't want to have to go back into ice for that. And I didn't find any other weapon, so it's, you know what? Here, you get a high crit weapon. Go.
Yeah, that was definitely the case with a lot of with pretty much everyone on the stream here. That rolling Vorpal -5, it was like there's no way we're gonna run this. X-Cal is the way to go, and that was evidence with all 3 of the runners here, including you, just running that X-Cal +3. We called it like early in the game. That was our endgame weapon.
Yeah, but I know with the boss scaling on these ones, I was going to want the high crit to be on the primary fighter, which is why I swapped the X-Cal to 4 and gave 1 the Cat Claw. Because I was relying on the crit.
And another finisher, Rich Bork, finishing at 1 hour and 17 minutes. That's still in bin 4. A lot of people grouped up in this. This flag set is specifically a kind of there's a routing that you can choose, but it's very random about if you guess going to Marsh early and it turns out to be something great, versus it could be a complete dud and you've wasted your time. Just to see all of these runners, coming in within, there are 10 runners within 11 minutes of each other. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I heard people talking about the grind tiles in Volcano. Which ones did y'all take?
I was grinding on Whiz Vamps and Earth.
I took the Frost Giants Inspector.
Okay. I ended up going with the Gerpedes because they were not that bad, and 5k XP per, but it was not as efficient as I would have liked.
That was the Frost Giants. I was getting 5,000 apiece. I'm like, okay, I can handle this. Get up to 30 and call it good.
Yeah. But GG's to everybody, and thanks to everybody involved with the restream on these ones. Deadfall, Renderer, and Rock Solid for doing comms and such. And I don't remember who's tracking, but thanks to them as well, because I know keeping an eye on these seeds is a little bit chaotic.
Well, on tracking, we have Phoenix and Life Reboot. Not that I'm name dropping or anything.
which Phoenix? Phoenix 29 or Nightmare Phoenix? There's too many
Phoenix
of them.
29. I apologize.
Nah, that's fine. That's fine. I just have to be a smart aleck about it.
It's too late in the day to be a smart aleck.
Lies and slander.
But yeah, we have all the runners on stream. Just excellent job. GG's to you all. Let's get some final thoughts, starting from Rubes 000, third runner overall, first on stream.
Yeah, thanks guys. GG to all the other runners. It was a fun seed. And if there are any spectators out there who want to give this a try, come to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com and roll a seed, and you too, like us, can kill chaos.
If I wasn't already a member, I would immediately follow Rube's advice. Who do we have next? Jay Scheidel, finishing in the fourth basket. Final thoughts?
Oh, this was. I love this flag set. I know there's some talk about it early hand, but I think I've rolled like 20, 30 of these seeds in the last couple weeks. I absolutely love this one, so I'll probably keep playing around with it afterwards. But kind of echoing everyone, thank you everyone for commenting, for restreaming, for doing the tracking. Just, it's all fun. I love being part of this group.
Well said. Over to you, Hate the 13th, Smart Alec. Got any make fun of me some more?
I wasn't making fun of you. I was just actually curious because I didn't realize, I couldn't remember which Phoenix it was because I've heard of this memory thing, but I forgot what I was just talking about. Now, for me, I do love these flag sets. They're popcorn flag sets. You pick them up, go through them quickly, and set them down. And I touch too many chests, way too many chests. But the chests, they call to me, their siren song. Open me, open me.
Well, I'm pretty sure next week you're going to be very happy with the Floaterless Classic, then.
Up to a point, yeah.
Well, I think with that, again, GG's to Ale Markin, who's not joining us after this. GG's to all the on-stream runners. Thanks to everyone for coming out and watching. Thank you, SpeedGaming, for hosting us. I don't really have anything else. So, Professor Renderer, rock solid. You can send us out.
Yeah, this was definitely a good show. Again, just GG's to everyone else, and stay tuned because there will be more Final Fantasy 1 randomizer fall league action. Just join the Discord to get information about when those are going to be coming up, and yeah, I'll let you just take us out, Rock Solid.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Professor Renderer, and thank you to everybody for running and crewing this race. If you're wondering, the next show is going to be tomorrow at 9 p.m. on RPG Limit Break. We have the next group of runners that are going to be running the same flag set, Free Enterprise. And then the last group, which includes yours truly, will be on Saturday at 2 p.m. on the FFR Twitch channel. We have our own now, by the way. If you don't know, come check us out and make sure that you subscribe there because that's a great place to get some FFR content. This is, after all, just the first week of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Candy-Coated Carnage 2021 Fall League, and there's been so much work put into putting this show on. There's so many people we could thank. Some have been thanked already. I will just quickly highlight a tournament admin, Dark Moon, has been putting in tons and tons of work getting everybody lined up for this. And I want to thank also on the SG Restream, we've got Carito tonight. Just really appreciating all the people that put this show together. And with that, we're going to get this show finished. So want to say thank you very much. I've been RockSolid84 for Dead Pulse and Professor Renderer. Thank you very much. And until next time, keep your head up and don't forget to go fast.